Hello, it's Dragon Tank 1400, and these are my thoughts on Season 1, Episode 3 of the show Fillmore. Fillmore, if you don't know, is a detective show in a middle school setting where the crimes are parodies of real crime. And the show itself takes the crimes seriously like a normal detective show would. Along with this, the show has moral lessons wrapped up in the story. These moral lessons are why I am going to talk about this show. Note that there is a link of the episode that can be found in the description for any who want to view the episode. Okay, now on to the brief summary of the episode. Fillmore and Ingrid capture Tony for another crime, and when they do, Ingrid notices a rocket stuck to the ceiling. Meanwhile, all the books in the library get stolen, and since Fillmore and Ingrid found the bad books in Tony's treehouse, Fillmore is convinced that it is him. However, Ingrid says that things don't add up with it being Tony. Along with this, Ingrid figures out that the rocket that was stuck to the ceiling was Fillmore's, which he then admits that it was from when he was a troublemaker. He changed his ways when someone gave him a chance, so he did the same thing with Tony, who helps Fillmore capture the real person behind the stolen books. Now on to the characters. In episode 1, Fillmore was shown convincing a criminal to turn their life around. However, in this one, he is convinced that Tony cannot change. This could be seen as backtracking his character for sure, but it could also be seen that he has seen Tony commit crime after crime, that he has lost hope, which can easily happen. This does show that Fillmore has his faults, which up until now has not been shown. I just wish that this would have been done before episode 1. Ingrid does remind Fillmore of a time when he was a bad kid by uncovering that it was Fillmore's rocket that was stuck to the ceiling. This restores Fillmore's hope in that no one is too far gone to be redeemed. Now, as for Ingrid, she confronts Fillmore in this episode, which was a nice touch, as the roles were switched from episode 2, where Fillmore confronted Ingrid. It also shows it done in a different way, which is Ingrid getting a little angry with Fillmore, being so focused on Tony being the criminal, even after she showed the evidence that Tony did not commit the crime. Now on to the morals. Now this episode again deals with redemption, which we saw in episode 1. It was done in a different way, but still very similar, as it was Fillmore that helped redeem this criminal, even though Fillmore had to see that the criminal needed to be redeemed from Ingrid. Now, it also showed that no one is too far gone to be redeemed. Again, like as a Christian, this is something I definitely agree with. No one is too far to be redeemed. And sometimes we see someone that we just don't think can be redeemed. They really get to us, they really have hurt us in the past, or whatever it may be. And there are times in those cases that we should cut that person out of our life, kind of thing. But even in those cases, we still pray for them. And in other times we try to help them out, but there's definitely cases of like abuse and stuff like that where you just need to cut the person in your life and then just pray for them and forgive them and stuff like that. But that doesn't mean they have to be in your life. You have to continue being abused and stuff like that. So another thing I noticed is that both Fillmore and Ingrid both have criminal histories, and now both of them kept crimes. They both have been redeemed themselves. Ingrid, even in this episode, mentions that she doesn't believe that no one is beyond redemption, kind of thing. So I definitely think that's an important part of this show in general, is redemption. They already have 2 episodes on it. Both of the main characters were criminals in the past that were redeemed and now are capturing the criminals. So I do hope that they come back to it. Now, I haven't seen every episode like probably a lot of other people have, but I do hope future episodes we bring back this theme, because I always do enjoy it. It's something that we have to be reminded of every once in a while. Overall, I think this episode was pretty good. I did enjoy it. However, the whole thing about Fillmore kind of backtracking from where he was in episode 1 is the only thing. I can kind of see why, but again, I would rather have this episode before episode 1. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. See you in the next one. Bye.